Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon White 2. So in the last part we started off training our brand new team members, Growlithe and Magnemite. And I also said that I was gonna be doing some on-screen training before we even take on the Virbank Gym. And now, as you'll see, now every single one of our team members, except for Bertrand and Psyduck, of course, are now at level 16. Now, I would say this is definitely a good level for you to be at before you even think about taking on the Virbank Gym. It's because, well, yeah, it will be one tough one if you really do not know how to handle. If you really don't know how to handle up against the poison type Pokemon. Yeah, even with just Magnemite alone. For that fact. Yeah, so I would say, again, having your team members go up to level 6, be leveled up to level 16 is definitely gonna be your best bet. But anyways, everyone, as you can see, yeah, our team members didn't exactly gain any new moves after doing all that training, except for one, and that actually being Magnemite. As you can see, our Magnemite now has Thunder Wave, which is definitely gonna be coming, which definitely gonna come very handy, especially when we get to capturing the legendary Pokemon, Pokemon, of course. Okay, everyone. And now with that said and done, we are now gonna be taking on the Virbank Gym. Now, and I guess I should say this as well too. Now for those of you who have seen the anime, know that the Virbank Gym was the last gym in the Universe series that Ash actually faced off against, and also the Virbank Gym is the only original gym to have appeared in the anime before the games. Yeah, meaning that the Virbank Gym was actually released. Yeah, meaning that now before we even got our hands on Bull like 2 Y2, the Virbank Gym was actually shown, was actually shown in the anime first. Yeah, back when the anime actually started to show off Bull like 2 and Y2 content. Oh yeah, and also you really need to listen to this. Yeah, not only lyrics, and also characters actually singing the lyrics. Yeah, this is something that people have been pleading for to come back, especially when it comes to the Pokemon Switch titles. Yeah, now, especially when it comes to the Pokemon titles that were released on the Switch. Now, I completely understand where people are coming from with that. Now what I think about it is that, well, but at the same time, I also get why they have not brought this back. It's because, well, if they were to do that for like every language in the game, for every language out there, it will definitely take them a lot more longer to do. Yeah, but anyways, everyone. Now, before you get to your battle with Roxie, yeah, now with her band is currently playing, yeah, you're not gonna be able to face off against her right away. It's because the music is playing so loudly that she will not pay any sort of like attention to you. Yeah, meaning that, yeah, if you actually want to face off against Roxie, yeah, now you actually had to face off against her band members first. Now with the drummer that we're going to be facing off against first, Now he actually starts off with a Grimer. Now I believe this is definitely a Pokemon that we have seen within the prequel series. Yeah, if I definitely recall, there was that one trainer who we faced off against there, who not only had an Ekans and Grimer, who also had an Ekans, and also a Viper too. Now, and I guess I should say this as well, when it comes to the music for this gym, yeah, I gotta say, with the lyrics, is definitely something good to listen to. And it's also something that we're also going to be hearing within another gym, within these games. Yeah, and you are definitely going to see who that is. So once we actually get to that, yeah. But anyway, so always everyone. But anyway, always everyone. But anyways, everyone. Now, as the music that is been playing. Now the male and female vocals in both versions of the song are performed and recorded by unnamed Game Freak staff members. So yeah, that is definitely something, huh? Yeah. and also with the Japanese version of Black 2 White 2, when for Roxie sings, she actually spells out DOGARS, which is actually the Japanese name for coughing. Yeah, aka the mural of coughing for what you're seeing up there. Yeah. And also with the music as well. Now, when you defeat the other band members, when you defeat the band members, and of course Roxie herself, yeah, the music actually gets lesser and lesser. Which I would say is definitely a very neat touch. Which I would say it is definitely a very neat touch for what they did with this gym. Yeah, and I would say a very neat touch. A touch for what they did. Yeah. But anyways, everyone. Now, as we are just going to be facing off against this other trainer, now I guess I shall go over Mareep next. Now, during the Johto anime, Mareep wasn't showing up that much in the Johto series, and it only came back like once or twice within the whole anime. Then it got to be brought back a few times within the Sinnoh anime. And it was one of the few Pokemon that got to be brought back for the like a one anime. Then it got brought back a few times within the Kanto series, and it also got brought back at least once within the Alola series, and it got brought back a few more times at least twice within Journeys, and it has only shown up once within the Horizon series. So yeah, Mareep has definitely been showing up quite often, like not a lot, but quite often within every series. But anyways, now as you can see, Oshawott has learned of Razor Shell. And it is now indeed evolving. It is now Dewott! And now with a Dewott's brand new animation. Now just alike with Oshawott, Dewott also utilizes his Scale Chops. Dewott also pulls out his Scale Chops, his Scale Chops too. Yeah, which is something unfortunately that Samurai does not do. Yeah, unfortunately, Samurai does not pull out his skull chops. Yeah, now his shells for his new animation either. Yeah, but anyways, now with those two band members done and defeated, we are now going to be taking on the Virbank Gym leader, Roxie. Now, considering that Coffin is indeed a mascot, that is indeed her very first Pokemon that she sends out. Now her Coffin has the ability of Levitate, and will have the moves Smog, Assurance, Tackle, and a Clear Smog. And if you are faced off against her in challenge mode, her Coffin will not have a Clear Smog, but it will have a Venom Shock instead. And it will also be holding a Oranberry. Then as for her extra Pokemon that she adds, it is actually a Grimer, which will have the ability Stench, and it will have the moves Venom Shock, Mud Slap, Disable, and a Poison Gas. So, yeah, that Grimer is definitely very handy to work, especially if you are, especially if you're bringing along your own, like a Magnemite into this fight. Yeah. But anyways, everyone. Now as for her strongest Pokemon, Whirlipede. Sorry, I just have to do that. But anyway, so what's everyone? Now her Whirlipede will have the ability a Poison Point, and will have the moves Protect, Venom Shock, a Poison Sting, and a Pursuit. And if you are faced off against a Whirlipede in challenge mode, now instead of a Pursuit, it will have instead Rollout, and it will also be holding a Citrus Berry. So yeah, as you can tell, yeah, that Whirlipede in challenge mode has definitely got itself set. If you are planning to face off against it, utilizing either Tempest or Growlithe, or even Magby for that fact. So yeah. Now as you can see, yeah, even though Growlithe tried, but that critical hit from that Venom Shock, from that first Venom Shock really did him in. So my Magnemite was really the true hero in this fight, really. Yeah, ultimately essentially taking out both of her team members. Yeah. Now as you can, now as you can probably hear, yeah, now you don't exactly get to hear anything. Yeah, considering that nobody's indeed playing right now. Yeah, excuse me. But anyway, what's everyone? And of course, now that I said, we now get Gym Badge number 2. Which is actually an entirely different badge. Yeah, compared to the other badges that we're going to be getting. Again, actually. Yeah, considering that our first badge was indeed once again the basic badge. This time we get the toxic badge. And when you have obtained the toxic badge, then you will of course you'll have a Pokemon up to level 30 will obey you with no problems. And since I talked about the majority of our Pokemon having the move Venom Shock, yeah, that is indeed the TM that she will give you. Now, for those of you who don't know how Venom Shock works, now it will do more damage. Now it will do more damage. If your targets all already poisoned. it's almost packs too much of a punch. Yeah, I bet it certainly does. But anyways, yeah, now we've got Magnamite and Dewott up to level 17. Yeah, now I definitely need to get my Riolo and Growlithe up to their level now. Oh yeah, that's right, and now we got this. Yeah, as soon as you defeat Roxie, now this guy, who we actually just talked to previously, now he says that he wants us to come. Now he wants us to go over to Pokestar Studios. Yeah, now we can actually finally get access to a Pokestar Studios. And considering what we saw previously too. Yeah, Roxie, now even though she just had the big fight with her dad, aka the ship captain, about wanting to become a movie star. Yeah, Roxie still wants that ship. Roxie still wants her dad to go back to being a ship captain. Yeah, because obviously she doesn't want the passengers to wait for so long. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, here we go, Mr. Medals here. Which of course will probably mean that we're gonna get more medals. Alright, well, let's just see, which sort of medals that we're gonna be getting this time around. Okay, first off we get the Alliance Walker medal. Now the way that you get that one is that you simply just have to walk at least 5,000 steps, which can easily be done. And with a second medal called the Busy Saver. Now you essentially just have to save the game 20 times. And then with that third medal that we just got, called the Evolution Hopeful. Yeah, now you essentially just have to have one Pokemon be evolved. Yeah, just like what we just got for our Dewott. Oh yes, right. Now as you can see as well. Yeah, during my off-screen training, and also trying to get my Growlithe and from Magnemite. Yeah, the two Pokemon that I passed on previously. That of course being Elekid and Coughing. Yeah, I now have my own. Yeah, I may as well just show that off now. Yeah, and then. Oh, yes, right. And now we've gotten 2 badges. Yeah, now I believe we've now gotten access to Great Balls and Super Potions. Yeah, and then as for that fourth medal that we just got, called the Superb Locator. Now you essentially just have to encounter at least one Pokemon within the Rustling Grass or the Dust Cloud. But as everyone, with that said, until the next part, I'll see you guys next time.